Okay, welcome everyone. This is our practitioner planning meeting for the Spring Renewal San Francisco Wellbeing Fair 2025. This is our 10th seasonal well-being fair that has been put together by Mukunda Studio and in collaboration with Tendwell Collective. And we've had other collaborators who've come on board as our host. So we had the LGBT Center last year. We also had the Harvey Milk Center for the Arts last autumn, both of whom then invited us back and said, we want you to come back. Let's keep doing this as an annual event. So we're at the Harvey Milk Center for the Arts for both the spring and the autumn. And then we'll be back at the LGBT Center in the summer. We'll always have our winter one return to Mukunda Studio until it gets too big, as kind of a returning to our home base, which we just had that in the winter, and it was really sweet to gather practitioners who have been with us through these years. So welcome everyone. My name's Mark Morozumi. I'm the founder and owner of Mukunda Studio. I'm the presenter of the Wellbeing Fair. And what I'd like to do, and I use he, him pronouns, I'd love to go around and have you all just say hello. If you've been involved in other fairs and you can remember, say which fairs. For some of you, that'll require some memory because you've been in a few. If you've not been involved, actually, and for everyone, say your modality. What is your mode of offering in the world and what you're bringing to the fair? Okay, so why don't I have, and also Amiko is here. Amiko, you've been part of the fairs, but Amiko's chose to be involved in more of a support capacity, which is incredible. And that's something I also seek out with anyone who has that availability going forward. And so, Amiko, why don't I start with you and then just pass it to whoever's next, whoever you want to next.
All right, hello everybody. Let's see. Yes, I'm Amy Ko, and I have participated in I think two of the fairs. The very first one and this most recent one. No, well, yes, the most. Well, I guess three fairs then. Like the one in the winter with the practitioners, and then the fall one at Harvey Milk, and all of it doing melt method. So I offer melt method which works with the fascia as well as restorative yoga. So but here I'm here to help and support you all.
And you were part of the very first one, December
Yeah, the very first one.
20th. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen it grow a lot, and
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite things. Honestly, it's so good, so nourishing, and great to meet lots of folks in the community. So it's a great way to connect. I'll pass it over to Lily.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lily. I use she, her pronouns, and my modality is, I think, I haven't quite decided. I figured I'd ask you also what would be most useful, but I can do, I'm an Akashic Records reader, and that one I can do at a table, or I also am a Reiki master, and I can do that one on a massage table. So I know those are two kind of different things, but depending on what would serve the well-being fair the most, I'm happy to be versatile in that way. And I'm also a clinical herbalist. And this is my first time participating in any of the well-being fairs, so I'm actually really excited. And I will pass to Kim.
Hi, sorry, I'm having camera issues over here. My name is Kim. I use she, her pronouns, and I am going to be offering tarot readings. And I have participated in the past. I don't remember when, and I've also participated a few times now as an attendee. So I've been in both capacities as a person. And I will pass it along to Trey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Trey Smith, and I'm here on the behalf of Rouse Relational Wellness. And we're a sex and relationships therapy practice right there on 18th and Castro. And we'll be bringing our service offerings, so individual, group therapy and counseling for those who need it. And I go by he, him pronouns. I'm not sure if we've been here in the past. I'm sure we have, right? But I'm happy to be a part of the fair this year. So, and I'm gonna pass it to, I believe, April.
Okay. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is April. I use she and her. I'm a nutritionist and herbalist, and I'm actually going to be selling some tea blends and possibly some bath salts. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how fast I can move. But I'm excited. And actually, Mark, I met you. I was actually I think it was the last retreat at IYI, and we shared the same room or in the same place. And I was cooking. I was a chef there, so I don't know if you remember me or not. But look forward to seeing you in person. And I'll pass it to, let's see, Lydia.
Hello. I'm going to try to start my video as well. Maybe not. Can you guys hear me? Perfect.
We can hear you.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm a body liberator. I make body positive art and I help center discussions on body image and body messaging and where we get our ideas of how we think about these bodies that we inhabit in this life. And I have participated in at least two fairs, one at the Harvey Milk and one at the center in San Francisco. And yeah, that's me. Let's see. My screen got a little big here. Let me tone it down so I can see who's next. How about Megan?
Hi, everybody. I'm Megan, and I'm a sound healer, and I do a lot of different kinds of sound baths. But for the fair, I wanted to do a relaxation sound bath that is also for neurodivergent support. And I'm also a coach, but I'm not going to be really doing much coaching there, I think. And this will be my first well-being fair, and I'm really excited. And let's see, I will pass it to, oh gosh, I'm not familiar with everybody is who's left.
Andy or Diraj or Phil.
Okay, I'll pass it to Phil.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm having technical issues with my camera today. But I'm Phil, he, him pronouns. I'm clinical herbalist and I will be there as representing my shop, Spiritual Apothecary. So selling some tea blends, a couple topicals, body scrubs, journals. This will be my second event. The last one was last year during summer at the LGBT Center. That was a lot of fun to do that. So I'm really looking forward to do this again. Let's pass it over to Diraj.
Hi everyone. My name is also Miraj. As an artist, I go by Miraj, and my modality that I'll be bringing for the first time, the fair, would be around ecstatic movement or flow movement as a method to feel out of stuckness, and also having conversations around purpose with the Japanese word ikigai as the concept to explore. I'm very excited to join. This will be my first time. I've been there before at the fair at the LGBT Center last year. It was the month of June, I believe. And yeah, I was able to also be offering music that day. So it was a beautiful way to come back this time. And I'll pass it to Annie, I believe.
Hi, everyone. My pronouns are she, her. The service I'll be offering will be breath practices. I'm a trauma facilitated breath coach. I incorporate that in my coaching services as a behavior analyst. So I utilize a lot of scientific assessments and data to offer interventions such as breath work as well as other somatic strategies. But this will be my first time, and I actually just moved here to San Francisco, and I met Mark by attending his yoga, which is right down the street from me. So I'm really excited to join.
Think that is everyone who's here. Okay, great. And Annie will be doing a workshop soon at the studio, an event, right?
Hopefully.
And Amiko has something coming up as well at the studio, at Mukunda Studio. So it's also just a great resource to connect here. And I mean, I'm just thrilled with even here who's here tonight, the diversity of what we're offering. Not only our actual demographic, but the services that are being offered. And that's a key part of what we work towards in this fair. Really trying to elevate our BIPOC and LGBTQ plus community and our allies. So thank you all for taking the time and energy to be a part of this. This continues to be an ever-evolving fair that came from a vision and a dream, and it's we've learned so much every time that we've done these, and now going into different venues has been a really fun shift for us. This will just be our second time going back to Harvey Milk, and only our third time doing it outside of Mukunda Studio. And the goal is to imagine this could be something we create in a number of spaces. It's getting to be, formatted and organized in a way that I don't like to say like it's a well-being fair in a box, but we can take it, because it has that scalability. What I'd like to do tonight is, I think one of the main things to do tonight is to go over this schedule. And especially because I know some of you put in mention that you can do different things or that you were choosing to do different things. And I want to make sure we cover all that you want to be able to do. And Andrea and Emily and I created the schedule based on all the forms that you all filled out. And we did our best to comb through to get all the information. So here's our moment of truth to see if we captured it all. So I think what I would like to do, because that probably is going to take the most time, is to start with the schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. And this is something that you will eventually also get to have access to. So you will get to see it. But for now, I'm just going to share it with you on the screen, and then I'll make a copy of it that'll go into a folder that you'll have access to. I'm assuming that's okay to click. Okay. So can you all see the schedule? Okay. All right. So this is basically our day. It shows the opening. And I'll also announce that. So Nicola is the kind of our event contact at the Harvey Milk Center for the Arts. And so she'll be part of the day with us, and she's a huge part of why this even has happened. She's the person who says yes to you when you come there to say, I'd like to do something. She either says yes, maybe, or no. And she gave us such a big yes that she's also willing to be part of our event and on our host team. I won't go through too much into this because it's all pretty self-explanatory up here, but I will mention Colette Gunam is our grand host. We often like to have a grand host just as a way to help build some momentum and enthusiasm in our community. Colette is a filmmaker and has developed a nonprofit. She's a mover and a shaker in activist communities as well as an artist and as a filmmaker. She has her first documentary film called Traces of Home, which this will also be a place to help speak about it. All right, Kamel, some of you may have remembered, Kamel was our grand host at the Autumn Fair last year. And Kamel is a force to be confronted. He's really his I would call him an artist. But part of what he expresses himself through is Barry's Boot Camp and Soul Cycle. So he is an energetic bunny. He's going to start the day off with a collective workshop called Collision. And I'm still learning much about it, but we often like to do something that we do as a unifying moment for the whole group. Last year we did a kirtan. And so this is going to be something, and you can opt out, right? It's not, you don't have to do it, but we like something everybody could. All right. Then the next thing you have in this is the main fair room. You have all these folks who are tabling, and you can kind of look over here. We created a little section called Healers Marketplace. First is another section where there'll be reading, so it's a little quieter zone. And then there's even another area called Healing Zone, which is even quieter spaces. Now, Lily will come back to you in just a moment because I didn't know if they went together. And so I sort of put them together, and maybe they can. But I might lean more towards the Reiki because we don't have a lot of body work type stuff. I think what Chuck did last time is had people laying down and with headphones, listening to their sound healing work. Lars doing the body work. I think I saw Lars pop in also. Hello, Lars. So that's kind of we call the main fair room. And I'm going to show you a floor plan also in a moment. In that main fair room is also the conversation circle. So everyone who had signed up for that, kind of take a quick glance and you can kind of see if this seems to be correct for, I think we just have Mirage here and then Trey, I don't know if you knew, but David had, I think, put in 2 options. One was more about relational, between conversations between couples or something. I was excited about this topic, so you may let him know that this is what I've put in for the topic.
Will do.
Thank you. And then the group class. So folks can see also your times, order of things, topics. I know from all of you, you're going to be learning all the different topics as you see this. Again, you're going to have access to this in a moment. So I just want to give a quick view. And also in case anything doesn't look correct for those of you that are here, or for those of you that are watching this recording, then you have something to go, hey. But of course, you'll also have the sheet in a folder. Outside. So some of you that were with us for Harvey Milk last year, we have an outdoor classroom, we call it. That was the first time we did that. So some of you had said it would be okay to do outdoors. And since we had so many doing that needed to be indoors, those of you that gave us the okay that it could be, that's happening there. Lydia, I had a question for you. Oh, somebody's trying to come in. Hold on, I've got so many windows and boxes I can't click. Okay, there we go. My question for you is, would yours be able to happen in the art studio? And is there some kind of creative painting, drawing, art making that was going with yours?
I could, sure, if that works for you guys, I could be in the art studio.
Okay, that would be, we want to activate that room a little more. And when I read your title, I was like, ooh, and knowing what I know about you, I thought, well, I can imagine there being some visual creation, but if that, either way, being in that space might inspire folks to also do some other things in there. Did you go in there last year?
No, I did not get a chance to.
Okay, so we'll go look at it. The other option would be to have yours be outside.
Okay.
So we can hopefully figure that out though before. So make a note that you and I will chat about that. Then we have our closing, which is again just a bookending with the host team. And then in here, I just added our volunteers. And this is also something that I'm hoping to get a little more organized around and get more support. So I created the 4 categories, and some of you had agreed to be involved. So I'd like to set up some separate times where we'll chat about that and how do we develop this as it's kind of a new way to build the fair instead of it being a smaller team, make it a bigger team. Then there's Day of Support folks, which you see there's Emiko and yeah, I think no one else from here tonight. And then just on the bottom, you have everybody. So we have our whole list in alphabetical order of all our folks, so you can start to kind of get familiar with folks. So I'll stop there and I'll just ask if there's any questions, and we can go back and peek at that in a moment. But how are we doing? Everything seem okay? No. Hi, Fiona, and hi, Lars. Yay. Did you get to see yourself on that list just now, Fiona and Lars?
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Hey, Lars. Actually, why don't you both give a hello? Because we did sort of some intros. So if you all wouldn't mind, just say your name, if you've been in the fair before, and what you're offering.
Hey, everyone. I'm Lars. I do body work, and I imagine I'll be offering some sort of rocking Tuina type Reiki mix massage again. And I don't know how many fairs I've been to, but it's been almost all of them. So,
I
yeah,
think 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Yeah,
No,
happy.
8 out of 9. We haven't done the 10th one yet. 8 out of 9.
Yeah,
Thank you, Lars.
thanks.
I'm Fiona, and this will be my first fair, so I'm excited. I'm a psychotherapist in San Francisco and also a contemplative educator. So, what I was going to offer, because sort of social action is the theme, I was going to talk about how you can do some social action on the meditation cushion and then how to bring that out into the world. So I'll give a little talk and then guide in a meditation and then open it up for discussion.
So just getting more and more excited about all these different things. This is like, I can't wait for the fair. It's going to be so cool. All right. So, and Fiona, I did have a quick question. You had noted being in the group class, so that's where I've positioned you versus a conversation circle, because it sounds like you have there'll be a meditation element to what you're doing.
Yes, and honestly, I wasn't quite sure what the difference between those two were. So you put me where you think I should be. But I
Okay.
will guide a meditation, so I don't know what space is better for that.
The group classroom it's a separate room, so that will help. And I think it's going to be, yeah, that's kind of what I thought, but I wanted to double check. Okay, good. All right. So any other things coming up before I show the floor plan of the main fair room? And we have Taylor. Cool.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
question
Go ahead.
about for the outdoors.
Yeah.
Will it be just our voices only, meaning like no microphone or speakers, or will we be using one for outdoors?
Yeah, no amplification. Outdoors, we can set that up if you feel like you need it. Um, we can talk about that if that feels like I'd have to talk actually also with Nicola to see how much is allowable to amplify. But there's a nice area right off the entrance at 50 Scott Street. I'll talk about this in a moment too. Let me write it down of kind of a field trip there. So we can also do a visual of being out there, which may help some folks, especially the outdoor folks. So we can talk more about that. But when we did it last year, it worked out nicely. We didn't need anything. It feels like it's enough of a quiet-ish area. So yeah. Anyone else? Well, go ahead, Annie.
No, I was just also gonna say I had put breath work for stress and anxiety only because I felt that was common. But if you guys or if you felt there was another theme or topic, like breath work can be helpful for, there's certain ones good for like amplifying energy. And so I didn't know if you wanted something that would align more with the spring season, but I just wanted to put it out there. I can focus on any topic.
Awesome. I like your topic for anxiety and stress. I think that's on point for what's happening and will be a nice offering for folks to, so we can talk about it and we can look over the schedule more, but I think, yeah, it feels good. I do like what I try to do is have you all bring forward what you're feeling most excited about. And but I understand, Annie, you're like, it works in so many ways. So thank you for that. Gautam, thank you for being here. And I know you just finished a board meeting, but do you want to say hello and introduce? You're going to say also just like how you've been involved with the fairs and what modality you bring.
Yes, of course. Well, hi everyone. I wish I were rather here earlier, but I had a nightmare meeting. Happy to be here. My name is Gautam. I have been a true believer in Mark's work. I truly respect what he's doing as a human and as also as a movement. Cannot stress how much I appreciate that. I have, as a result, because of that, been grateful that he invited me to be a part of the fairs right from the get go. I offer Reiki and intuitive readings. And the way I position that, I mean, Reiki, of course, is de-stressing modality that most people know of. And then the intuitive readings really help because it falls into the energy category. I think with what I offer is just the ability for people to see what's perhaps under the covers or what's in the near horizon or the impact of why they're feeling something. I'm definitely not a therapist, but I do feel that my clairvoyance allows me to just give people a broader perspective and a better leg up on their healing journey. So that's it. Thank you and pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Gautam. Okay. All right. So let's see. I wanted to share to help kind of tie in the schedule. This is just a hand drawing, so no big expectations here on a floor plan, but I think it will help. So can you all see this first of all? Yeah. So this is not the entrance to Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk entrance is, through the lobby, but you come through the main floor lobby and then there's an entrance here. This is basically like a big gymnasium. So what we wanted to do this year is as you come in, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is my cursor also highlighting? You can see what I'm doing? Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are our 6 people that are selling products, teas and products that are all things for sale. We learned this is the way you do it. You get people to have to walk through it because it's exciting stuff. We want them to see it. They can spill off and go into the conversation circles. This dotted line isn't really going to be a real line. We're hoping to just have a little bit of plant border, but this is an area where those conversation circles are happening. And I'm kind of toying with the idea of actually creating little circles for the conversations versus one big circle like we've often done. And more prompting you as the conversation circle folks to encourage maybe a topic that you send them to talk about and then come back as a group. So that's just the idea. It doesn't have to work that way. You could take your 30 minutes and say, I want to make a circle. Let's change the chairs. That's all you can do. Okay, so you get this idea. We keep walking. And then as we come through, you have all these options, of course, of where you can go. In front here, this is where the stage is going to be this year. So last time, the stage was across this way. And the conversation circles were hidden behind the stage. And that's why we weren't happy with that. So this time, we're going to have the stage on the side. This is where we'll start the fair. This is where Kamel will teach that collision workshop. And this will be all open because it's a movement-based workshop. And that's from 12:15 to 12:45, after which we want to turn it into a chill zone, kind of like as much as we can put soft stuff for people to lay on the floor and just relax. Over here, 1, 2, 3, against the wall, these are what we're calling people who are doing our readings. So Gotham is here, Kim is here, and Colette is over here, who's going to be talking about her film, and which deals with trauma work. Then over here, 1, 2, 3, this is kind of our healer zone. And this is where we would have Chuck, who does the headphones with the sound healing work. We have Lars offering body work. And then this is where I also thought Lily could be doing Reiki in this zone. What's not on here, so there's an emergency exit. There is a piano that is for real, that has to stay in the room, but we'll have it over there. On this side of this stage here, we'll have our grief and contemplation altar. So we've begun to have these ever since October of 2023, that there's an altar here that everyone can participate in building. We'll build it the night before primarily. Last time we had it upstairs and it felt like people couldn't find it or know about it. So this is going to be, it'll be here. Kind of a quieter area as well. Yeah, and this, I'll also put this in the folder so you all have access to it. Any questions on the layout at the moment? Is there anyone who's thought they would be table? Well, I didn't go through all the names. Should I go through all the names of who's where and what's, or do you kind of have a sense? Actually, I just thought to myself, where's David? So maybe
I was just about to ask. I'm like, where will we be?
Yeah. I think. Where is my? Let me go back to the first sheet with all the. Here it is. All the stuff going on, the schedule. Is this it? Yeah. So that's why. So I did not remember it. So you're not on here. So you all, do you know if David is, I don't guess there's anything you all are selling.
Not that I know of. If we do sell anything, it'll probably be like men's like mental health workbooks, or but the majority of what we just want to offer is like consultations for like therapy sessions.
Right. Okay, I think where I'll have you then is in that realm. The 3 tables that were against the wall will turn into 4. Oops. Just do this in real time so there's no forgetting.
I don't know if this was mentioned already, but what's collision workshop?
Yes, that is our headlining practitioner, Kamel Mills, is going to open the whole fair with this group workshop that's part movement-based, part writing. It's like a motivational workshop that brings together a bunch of modalities. I honestly don't have the full description of it yet, but Kamel's one of those people that I just trust, and he's such a energizing and activating kind of being. I'm like, he would be a great starter. So that's as much as I know. I'm just going to do this as a placeholder for now, okay? But I'll read what he wrote and great. So what I'll probably do, yeah, and actually we'll figure out how to turn this into a 4 instead of a 3. That's basically it. Yeah. And I'll fix that and have that in the folder for you all. All right. The next thing I wanted to share was our folder that does have some marketing materials, just so you know that it exists. And then I'm going to give you all access to this. So give me just a moment to locate the folder. You know, I also noticed when this happens, I'm always sad because it means that they're not downloaded. I don't understand, but like, yeah, then this has to happen. I don't know if that works for you all, but I know when I do it, it downloads and then it will open. Do you see the poster design? Did it pop up? No, so you don't, it shows on my screen, but probably because of the way the sharing thing works. Okay, well, I will figure that out, but I can show you those separately in just a moment. I do want to show you our official press release, in part because I want you to consider if you know anyone where you might be able to send it. Maybe you have contacts with somebody who is a writer for some of your local papers, your neighborhood papers. If any of you have contacts in the media of any sort, this is helpful. I tend to send it to SF Chronicle, Bay Area News. I send it to SF Fun Cheap. I send it to, there's about 6 different places that I send it to, and a couple of them have put something in their paper for us. Some of them are like, oh, here's the link to pay for an ad. And I'm like, no, thanks for right now, one day, but not right now. But if any of you have any contacts and resources, that would be wonderful. But essentially, this is it. It's a 2-page sheet. And then the other page talks about the collaborators and a little bit more about the fair. I also hope you all know that there is a Wellbeing Fair website. And I'm curious, does that open for you all? Do you get to see the website? Yes. So has everybody, or I should say, has anybody here seen the website? Raise your hand if you've seen the SF Wellbeing Fair website. Okay, there's a few of you. All right, that's helpful. So yes, it does exist. And we try to keep it as up to date as possible, or I should say, I try to keep it as up to date as possible. And this is always fun to direct someone there. We have our little countdown, our current image. That's one of our graphics. And vision statement, mission statement, diversity statement. This is a list of all the practitioners who have been involved through the years. And it's not even everyone. So there's some familiar faces, but just to, recognize this is a big growing event. There's Gotham, some FAQs. This is still showing our last year. So if you want to go on before I update this and you want to just see like, what has it been like before for those of you that are new, I keep the last season on. So while we're building the new season, of course, because I don't have all the info, but you can go through and just sort of see what happened. And then we'll be filling this in with the new information. It's free. We look for sponsorship. And these are people that have sponsored us. Rainbow Grocery has been a great sponsor for, I can't get to Rainbow. Come here, Rainbow. There they are. Been a great sponsor, and they're sponsoring us again by donating, or basically they give us a $500 voucher to go and get all the food and drinks. And then you have all the pictures from the other fairs that we've done. So this is also kind of fun for those of you that have not been a part of them, or just to know that this exists. And that's it. We also have an Eventbrite link, so that'll be something that'll be in the marketing folder that I'll share with you all later. And that's something also nice and easy to send somebody to register for the fair. We already have 15 people that have signed up before I've even said a word about it to any marketing. Basically, it's like, just because it's on Eventbrite, people are finding it. And I'm like, cool. But the more we can share that with folks, and I'll talk about marketing in just a moment. All right, I think I'll talk about that now. Here's some of the ways that we have found that it works best is to think of yourself, for one, as a collaborator in the fair, rather than I'm just going to show up and do my thing and then leave. But this is the mission of this is to get our attendees to learn of all kinds of modalities of what it can take to inspire your health and well-being, to recognize we're here and we're meant to thrive. We're not meant to struggle and become divisive. Why has that happened? Well, I think we all know, because of systems that try to govern and overwhelm us. And so we have a great message. And the more we can have people come into this environment and be exposed to all of this diversity of energy and thought and creativity and humanity, it makes an impact. If you can think of who in your community would benefit from this, what I often say is think of 10 people in your phone that you can text that you think would want to come. Send them the link, say a little 1 or 2 sentences about it, and ask that, it's free, and have them register. So if each of us could think of sending it to 10 people, that's one ask for marketing. Obviously, if you are on social media and you would feel willing to post something like this, what we've done in the past is we have asked you all to create a reel for your own offering. Hi, I'm Emiko, and I'm going to be doing the melt method. And this is a practice that helps, relax the body and helps to this and that and the other. Sorry, Emiko. Emiko's done a few of these, and it's just really nice for your community to hear your words about what you're going to offer versus me trying to tell, which you can see is horrible. So if you do it, it'll be really appealing to your audience. Now, some of you don't like to do that, or aren't on Instagram or Facebook. That's no problem. If you'd be willing to join each other together, or with me, I've done them with you all. That's something we can start to talk about over these next 2 weeks, basically, is what we have. The other thing is is this, if you have newsletters, if you are, I kind of said this already, but have some connection with any communities that you're a part of, you do different things and you have communities that you're a member of. We have postcards and posters that will be ready. They're being printed by SF Rec and Park for us, which is so nice, but they get won't be ready, I think, until the beginning of next week. So those will be ready to pick up either at the Harvey Milk Center for the Arts or at my studio. Harvey Milk Center for the Arts, as you all know, or hopefully are knowing, it's in Duboce Park, and my studio is down on Folsom between 8th and 9th. That leads me into saying, if we'd like to do a meetup at the Harvey Milk Center for the Arts, we did that last year, and I think it was really awesome, because if you can come, get a sense of that space beforehand, it's just kind of grounding. It's like nice for your nervous system to be like, okay, here's what it looks like, so that when you're ready to bring things, you have an idea of how you're getting there, maybe where you're parking. So I recommend pre-planning all that, so your day is not, hopefully not a hectic one, but you've thought it through about what you're going to need, how you're going to get there, etc. I'll offer a couple of dates. That's what we've done in the past. And if you can make it, great. If you want to go there on your own, you can also do that to pick up the posters and postcards. And I'll give you the hours of when they're there, because of course they're open to the public and they'll welcome you to pick up stuff. Any questions? I've been talking a lot, so let me pause a moment and breathe.
You said that you're going to send all of this info plus the recording in a follow-up email, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Thank you, Trey. It won't be tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow, and the latest it would be a Saturday to get it to you all.
No urgency on my behalf.
Thank you. Yeah, many other things coming up as you're starting to imagine yourself at the fair or anything from the past that you want to acknowledge or share with others that you're like, you know, what was helpful for me when I first came, I didn't realize this. And then when I saw that, I knew that. And if any of that's helpful as insight for newbies.
And I just asked Mark, I actually didn't see the classrooms anywhere on that floor plan. Are they on a different floor? I might have missed that because I came late.
No, you're right. I didn't say a word about it. So, the classroom, I don't have a layout because the classroom is separate. It's actually on the second floor, which is up by stairs or an elevator, and it's its own room. It's a beautiful big space. So that's its own space. The upstairs, the other thing that's upstairs will be our food area. And that's the part with all of the $500 of rainbow stuff. Woo! And we always have it's a spread of vegan, all plant-based items. Probably don't need to say this, but just to acknowledge there's no alcohol there. And you're all, speaking of food, you're all welcome to bring food and snacks as you want them. However, no eating in the main fair room. They said like little snacky things, but like you can't bust out a whole thing. Technically, there is no food in there, but Nicola has said, you know, if people need to munch on a granola bar or, you know, snacks that aren't super messy, no problem. Water, tea, you know, drinks and thermoses, totally fine in the main fair room. The group classroom, the same. So if you're going to have a snack, you go out in the hallway, or I mean, the group classroom people have access to that food room, so that's awesome. Or you can take it outside and take a break. I want to make sure I talk about that in a moment, but let me keep going. The only other thing, so the outdoor classroom obviously is outdoors through the front of entrance to 50 Scott Street. The art room has its own room, which Taylor knows. Did I see Taylor? Yeah. Hi, Taylor.
Hi, yes, I'm here.
You want to say hello to folks? And what we were saying is, if you've been involved in past fairs, your connection to well-being fairs, and your modality.
Whew. Yes, sorry, I'm like in my bed here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Taylor. I am a member of Tenwell, founding member of Tenwell, and I think I've been at all the well-being fairs except for one or two. But I usually help out / facilitate the Crafty Corner. I'm an expressive arts therapist and a child and family therapist. So I work with kids, specifically 0 to 5. So I love doing art and helping people tap into their creative side, to their childlike side. Yeah, I'm just excited to be. I didn't realize it was the 10th one. That feels like quite the milestone for it to be our 10th well-being fair. That's very exciting. But yeah, I'm really excited to be a part of another one.
Thank you, Taylor. Oh, and Mia.
Oh.
Mia, did you want to say hello? Are you able to say hello?
Hi, I'm also in bed. I'm snuggling with a cat. Yeah. I think I went to the winter one, and I'm helping Mark organize this one. So Hi, everyone. I'm excited to see how this goes.
Thank you, Mia. And Mia is also a yoga teacher, Ayurvedic person, and we'll get involved as we go. But and Fiona knows Mia. That's how I know Fiona, through Mia. Somebody was about to come on and say something. Amiko, go ahead.
Yes, I'll mention to those of you who are teaching upstairs in the classroom that there are yoga mats and yoga blocks, I believe. I can't remember if there are blankets or bolsters. I don't know if there's that much stuff, but if you feel like you might want a few chairs in there, let us know, because I know I had some older folks who wouldn't be wanting to sit on the floor. So that might be nice to have a few chairs in that room by request or something. But the sound is pretty good in there, although if you feel like you need to amplify sound, I believe there's some little speakers that your like phone could be plugged into if you need to do something like that. So, but go check it out if you haven't seen it, because it's worth taking a look. It's a nice, cozy space.
Thank you, Amiko. Thank you, Gautam. Glad you were able to be here. I know some of you are going to start needing to trail off, but I'm going to try to use this last 5 minutes as amazingly succinctly as I can. One of the main themes of the fair is also for you all to take care of yourselves at the fair. So I don't want you to feel like you have to come and exhaust yourself by giving, depleting all your resources. That's not a good well-being fair day for you all. And we want you to, yes, you're there to share, and I want you to have a good night's sleep so you have a lot of energy, but take breaks. And if you are somebody who's tabling, maybe you have, you decide, I'm going to take a 30-minute block to not be at my table. So no services. So just know, either you have a friend who's coming with you, or we can step in for you to keep an eye on your table. I already mentioned about snacks and all that. So make sure you're taking care of yourself in that way. Other logistics, kind of the people that are tabling, there's a little more specific stuff you will have, and it was on your Google form when you signed up. So hopefully you remember some of this, but you get a 3 by 6 foot table with a black tablecloth. So that's kind of your starting point. You can add to that whatever you want. So bringing other things to help, another tablecloth or flowers, or I don't think you can bring candles at light, but you can, have a number of things like that. Of course, marketing. You want to be sure to get yourself out there. So if you've got business cards, if you have another event coming up, if you have QR codes or you want to set that up, please, this is your time to get yourself out there. We want you to do as much of that as you can. For those of you that are in the healers marketplace, we've done this a little differently, and I want to make sure this is clear for everyone because, as I said, it's this slow evolving process. When we were at the LGBT Center, that was the first time we actually had a sponsorship. And then I had my private clients add to that sponsorship because I was getting so excited that we could pay people. So we paid people, the practitioners. That was the first time that happened. I then applied for a grant in December that is only when I can have it at my studio, and that also helped pay people. We do not have sponsorship or a grant for this one, so there's not going to be payment to you. My goal, just so you all know, is that can happen. A lot of times with fairs, you all as practitioners pay to be a part of the fair because this is a big marketing moment. But I want to also support you all until the fair gets big enough that it really is helping you build your clientele, that you get some money. But at this moment, I don't have sponsorship for this one. Also on that sheet, when you filled out the Google form, to make sure for those who are tabling and selling scalable products, so not like original art, not I should just go with what it is. It's all the things that you can produce and have and scale. So the tea products, things that are reproducible by other hands. That as you sell anything that day, we request for the fair that the fair gets 20% of your sales. So think about that when you do your pricing, if you want to consider maybe you turn your pricing up a little bit. And then that's just done by, I don't have to see any of your pricing. You just decide what that 10% is, and it gets Venmo'd. And I'll have also a list about that for those who are selling anything. Any questions on that? make sure that that is clear and that's clear here in the recording. If you sell anything before the fair, just because like, oh, I saw you're in the fair and I want to get some of your teas before they sell out. Or if you sell something after 5 p.m. at the fair, that is 100% all yours. We just ask from 12 to 5 p.m. If somebody buys something for it's a workshop that you're doing, those are all part of that 20%. And if you have any not clear on that, just let me know and I'll clarify one-on-one with you. That, yeah, the tabling folks have the most to do because you're going to be bringing stuff in. You've got stuff to make sure is safe. People doing the conversation circles, all of the chairs are provided for everything, for everyone. The group class, yes, there's music that you can tap in, or there's not music, there's speakers you can plug into if you use music. There'll be about an hour or so, which was listed on that spreadsheet, where you can, before anything actually starts at 1 o'clock, you can go up there and test things out. You can bring stuff up. I know we have some sound healers. You can place your stuff in that room off to the side. So it's, you know, it's a big room. Woo! All right. I feel like I covered what we needed to today. Any final questions or thoughts that I may have to answer via email that any of you are having? Hey, Miko.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about the last time we were there, and is someone assigned the task of being the announcer of when the events are, being like, oh, you know, a little bit before 2 o'clock. Okay, coming up in the main room is blah blah blah. Upstairs is blah blah, and outside is this. Just so that everybody, most people I think are going to be in that big gym space. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's still thinking about that, to be honest. But I do like the idea. I'm not sure, just because I don't want to I have to think about it. Let's talk about it. But one thing we are going to do that is different, that reminded me, is we are going to have, like we did at the Practitioner's Wellbeing Fair, will be a sheet of paper that has the map. So you actually see in your hands where you're going, your options of where to go, and the schedule. What we're going to then also have is we have some SF Wellbeing Fair little mini pencils that are branded. And we're going to ask for everybody to choose their own Wellbeing Fair adventure. So when you get that sheet of paper, you circle what you're interested in doing. Oh, from 1 to 1:30, I want to do this. And from this to this, I'm going to start. So you have to take a moment. You have the option to take a moment and choose. We've heard in the past, people are like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. I want to do it all. Well, that's the nature of a fair. When you're at a fair, it's you all just kind of hop around and you get little tastes of things. It's not a retreat. So what we're not creating for people is this deeply immersive retreat experience. So just know there's going to be activity going on all around. The group classroom is the only space where it does feel like it's quiet, but somebody might come in 15 minutes into your class. You know, that's part of the nature of this, is it's a very what's the word? It's just, I don't want to say it's superficial, but it's just that it's meant to make people go, huh, I want to learn more. And then you need to make sure they have a way to learn more and how to find you next. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's something we want to dial up more, and we'll have more to say about that in some emails. Emiko that's a really good point. I know we have been given that feedback. I don't know where my resistance on that is, but I'll come up with something for that. How we do that. Yeah, we did that at the practitioner one. It felt okay in that space. Something about, I don't know, in the big space, but yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a note though.
I also have a quick question mark.
Yeah, question mark.
Sorry, I just caught that. Lost my train of thought. For being outdoors, sorry, I thought it was so funny. For being outdoors, will I be able to either borrow or have, because I was gonna do where everyone lays down for some of the breaths, which I don't have to if we don't have mats, like that many mats, but at least like some seated cushions I could borrow in case people need it.
Yeah, last time Tenwell did bring some mats. I don't know. We'll see how many we can get. So actually people were able to lay down. I forgot. Thank you, Kim. See the note. So yeah, let's have a talk about that, Annie, because I think you might have, and the sound bath, if that ends up happening, that we would want to have something. And I know that Tenwell has something. So yeah, let's make sure to touch on that so I don't forget. If anybody else has access to mats too, that's also will be helpful. But okay, yeah, let's go ahead and close. I think if there's more, we'll just come to me individually, or we'll have a little team that's going to be working on this together. So thank you all so much. Thanks for being here. I'm going to stop the recording.